Welcome to tonight's call. Welcome YouTube to another Wednesday night session with myself, Willis Guidry, founder of Brave Asset Group. And again, if you just joining us tonight, man, I appreciate y'all for jumping on. Man, tonight I'm gonna kind of keep it really short, but I'm gonna make sure I cover a lot of stuff and a lot of questions that been getting asked to me through the chat. But as y'all know, the first thing that I always like to cover is the mindset portion of this here. You cannot receive the information that I'm sharing if you have not cleaned out the old information that you've been receiving over the last few years, decades, meaning the people that you've been listening to for financial advice or the people who've been telling you not to start that business because of their fears, then listen, it's time to let all of that stuff go and actually get set on an actual path to setting yourself up correctly, right? You know, a few years ago when I started my business, I was like a total failure. I had no idea how to do any of the stuff that I know how to do now. When it came to structuring a company, when it came to paperwork, even when it came to getting my USDOT, I didn't know any of that stuff, and I had to go and research that stuff on my own. And luckily, I was able to get around people that had the information that were sharing it with me. Now, just because I got started, don't mean I was successful. That's where a lot of individuals make the mistake at because they feel they've already started this LLC. Success is right around the corner, and it's just waiting for them to start doing something. It doesn't work that way. See, if you get in this industry of wanting to be a business owner solely to be the boss, to have that mindset that I'm the boss, and not to actually ever hire people or say, hey, how many people can I hire and how many people can I bless, within me hiring them? Meaning, how many people can come provide their services with my company? That way my company can grow. I didn't have that mindset. I'm gonna just be honest, because at that time when I got started, I had the mindset of, oh, becoming a boss. I'm the boss. I'm the boss. And everybody like to wear that title, but there's a lot of shit that come with that boss title, right? There's a lot of personal development that needs to take place in order to become that said boss. And even when you get to that boss status, you wouldn't even want to hold that title because a title is the lowest form of leadership, and you never want to hold that. So I eliminated that type of communication with myself. And when it came to trying to share with others the opportunity of starting a business, right? My first transportation business was like shit. I'm gonna tell you, man, and my brother can even tell you, like, we were trying our best. The good thing about our situation is that at the time he had the credit and I had a little bit of money from my job that I had just got fired from. So, we merged the two and we kind of made it work. And with me having a lot more time to sit down and read and understand company structure, understanding officers, understanding LLC, partnership, all of that stuff, with me doing that, it I feel like it kind of set us back, but it also helped me to help others now and also understand the proper way to do things and to go about business, right? And again, we had in our minds that we were going to start this business and this business was just going to blow up. Like it was just going to take off. We weren't going to experience any type of problems, any type of hiccups, none of that stuff. Let me be the first to tell you that when you make a decision like that to start a business, everything is going to fall apart right before your eyes. In the beginning, everything will fall apart right before your eyes. I guarantee you. And I'm not saying that to be negative, but I'm saying that to tell you the truth of what happens. Adversity starts hitting you once you make a decision to do anything, and let alone start a business. I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from something that I heard, or I'm speaking from experience. Adversity hit me immediately. Adversity hit our doorstep immediately when we started our company. We started having issues with the trailer. We started having issues with the truck. We weren't prepared mentally for what actually came for that. So that's why I like to do the paradigm, the mindset shift on the first half of this call, because that's the most important piece of it. Because when you get down in the real mud, like when things just going to shit for you, then that personal development that you went through, that mindset shifting or reprogramming that you're going through, that's what's actually going to get you out of it. Because one thing that you can do is revert back to the way that you thought as an employee, meaning lack, right? You start having these, you know what, this isn't going to work for me. I'm going to just get out of this industry. And that's exactly what we did. That's exactly what we did. The second that we had the opportunity to exit the industry, we exited the industry. Now, we took a loss within that industry, but we also learned something, and we also had an opportunity to communicate and say, hey, what did we do wrong when we were running it? How is everyone else having so much success in this industry and we can't with the information and the resources that we have? Right? And that's because we were not built mentally to handle that industry in the beginning. I'm just speaking facts. I'm just telling you the truth about my failures as a business owner, because most people aren't going to tell you that. Most people are going to say this industry is this industry is that. Listen, everything works if you work it. Now, everything works if you work it with the correct mindset, but if you work it with the wrong mindset, nothing actually works. And then I've also learned that when this industry, when it was working on us, we should have stuck with it a little bit longer because it was working, it was building our character, it was going to teach us a lesson, and we were going to be able to come out on the other end of the smoke and be like, man, listen, bro, look at this, it's crazy. We started with one truck, now we have 15 trucks, we have over 30 employees, all because we let this industry work on us, grow us. We grew and we personally developed into individuals who can handle and sustain in this industry. That's what it's about. Like you once you start a business, the mindset of I'm the boss has to go out, and the mindset of how many families can I bless and save with this business, whether you're hiring or whether you're doing sales, whatever the case may be. Now, I was in sales. I was in car sales. Like, I understood the industry. I knew how to sell. I was great at selling. Once I got my first taste of sales at that capacity, at that speed, and I got a taste of that commission, it was over. The personal development went into effect. The whole shifting of the way that I talk went into effect. That's when it happened for me. That's what turned me into, who I once was, or who I was becoming, and who I, still evolving, developing into now. Because had I got in that industry and only tried to work off my natural abilities, which we're all naturally talented, regardless, it doesn't matter what we get into. But had I worked off my natural ability with no type of personal development, not changing the way that I spoke to customers, not changing my vocabulary, not understanding the tonality of my voice, none of those, if I hadn't worked on any of those things, I wouldn't be able to communicate effectively now. And that is the biggest piece of business. That's where I failed at in business, was the communication piece of it. It wasn't the ideas, it wasn't the know-hows, it wasn't any of that stuff. I failed at the communication side of it. And that's because I didn't communicate what I needed, what I didn't need, what I didn't know how to do. And then I didn't seek to delegate those tasks to other people that knew how to do it like I do now. Right now, listen, I'm gonna delegate the shit out of a task. If I don't have to do it, I'm gonna delegate that task. if I can get away with spending $20 to delegate a task that can allow me to continuously run my business, then that's what I'm gonna do, because what I've learned from Devin Daniels is time is God's grace given to us on earth. So why do I want to go and spend hours and hours and hours doing something, and I can actually spend a little bit more time, earn a little bit more money that'll actually double or even pay for that? That's when we start thinking about business. When we start thinking about the time that we can actually get back, but also delegate some of those tasks to other individuals to run our business. You know, especially, I'm gonna just say this, man, just keeping it real. Black business owners feel that we have to be in in it all. Like we we have to do it all. We've been programmed, we've been conditioned to do it all within our business. That's not the case. It's okay to delegate. It's okay to say, hey, you email these people for me, and I'm gonna go out and get more sales. While I'm getting more sales, you're emailing and communicating with the people that I've already sold. I didn't know that in the beginning. Even though I came from sales industry, I lost all of that whole process. I forgot it. I forgot the entire process of what we went through. And here's the entire process of anything. When it came to sales, car sales, and this is how I worked in the internet department. A lead came in. There was a group of individuals that was in the internet sales. We would answer, respond to that lead. You're looking for an XLT, 2015 XLT, black color, whatever. What we would send the customer is we would send them options. This is us communicating now. We respond to the lead. We send them options of good, better, best. We don't overcomplicate the sale at all. We send them options, good, better, best, meaning the best truck, meaning that's the King Ranch, whatever the King Ranch, the Platinum. Then we offer something in the middle, maybe a Lariat without all the bells and whistles, without the sunroof. Then we offer something below the Lariat, which will be the XLT model, XL model, like that. We didn't overcomplicate it, and we always gave them that color. That was a sales process for that. That's how we communicated. They would respond to us, and we would try scheduling a call with them. And the entire purpose of that call was to, one, make sure that we have the exact unit that they're looking for, right? Two, try to determine a time and date that they can come in to test drive that unit, right? Me, I was always thinking like ahead of the whole process of, okay, when are you going to start the application? And sometimes we get into the little bits and pieces of sales that we forget the ultimate goal of the sale, of when the application starts. So I forgot this entire process as a business owner. And the crazy thing is it was taught to me in my previous field, meaning whatever it is you're doing now in your previous field, you learn a skill that can actually help you that applies to what you're currently doing. I don't care what it is. Whatever your previous job was, or you planning to make your previous job, that same skill that you learned over there, you can move it over into your business. Not the same mindset, the same skill, not the same work ethic, the same skill. Because the mindset can't come over to business. That same work ethic can't come over to running a business, because you're going to get crushed. You're going to get crushed as a business owner. You will get crushed if you bring your employee mindset to running a business where you have employees. I'm trying to get y'all to think like bigger than what I was thinking when I started my business. I was only thinking of being the boss, and therefore I became the boss with no employees and a closed business because I wanted to be the boss. I wanted to glorify that I was the boss. I wanted to be the one that made the decision. I'm the decision maker versus how many families can my company employ, meaning save? That's the mindset that we have to have right now. If you're one to be a business owner, other than that, just give it up. Because if you're getting into it for the status, I guarantee you that shit will be burnt out.
Tu gonna catch a whip
Not
with
have a
it.
successful business. You will be burnt out. Listen, I was burnt out because I did not
Wash
set,
hands.
like, I didn't have enough people. I didn't have enough of my tasks delegated. Don't do everything. Delegate tasks. Spend the money. Buy back some of your time. That's actually the whole, and that's the whole point of it all is to buy back your time. Meaning, if you have to pay
Wash your hands.
somebody, buy back your time, right? Buy back your time. Let me see something. Let me see in the chat. Make sure something really quick. Everybody can still hear me, right? And if you just join and make sure you mute your line. Just type a 7 in the chat if you can still hear me. Type a 7 in the chat. Not everybody at once. I know everybody's shy. All right, bet. But let's get into like the whole business setup. Y'all want to know the sauce. I don't have a PowerPoint to show you. I've learned that most people don't even care about the PowerPoints, honestly. Most people want the shortcut stuff, like how do I do this here? How do I do that? So let's just kind of start with like the basics of it, of you being a business owner. So this is if you're a new business owner, existing business owner, this is your partner. I'm gonna tell you who your partner is when it comes to paperwork, when it comes to updating your operating agreement if you need to, making any kind of changes. I use LegalZoom. That's just me. I'm not promoting them. There's no special link for them or none of that I'm dropping. I'm just saying I use LegalZoom because again, I want to delegate the tasks that I don't have time to do. I don't want to go and try to file something with the Secretary of State unless you were in my position at the time and you didn't have no job, you had some time, and you was really short on money, yeah, you go and do the research yourself. But again, the whole process is to delegate some of that time to grow your business, not be so tied into the business and tied into the hype of I'm a business owner. So I use LegalZoom as my partner. LegalZoom does all my paperwork. I have other companies that I partner with as well too that does paperwork, that does company setups, for me, that maybe even do name change for me or acquire EIN numbers for me, even though that stuff is free through the IRS site. I still get someone to go and do those things because if that's what you specialize in, I'm gonna just go ahead and pay you to get that done so I can go and do other things. So I partner with them. Now, if you don't have a corporation set up, I advise you to go to your Secretary of State to even search and see if the name that you're looking for is even available before you even set up a new company. But if you use the proper channels like LegalZoom, they'll do that search for you. Again, is buying back your time because you're delegating everything to it. Once you get everything set up with them or you set it up, whether you set up an LLC, whether you set up a partnership, incorporation, whatever the case may be, make sure you've already consulted with a CPA or just some type of tax professional. A good thing about this company is they have attorneys, they have CPAs that you can talk to, they have tax accountants that you can schedule calls with to learn more about that. If you're gonna become a business owner, you at least need to understand the basics of taxes. I didn't know that. I'm just telling y'all, I didn't know it. And it showed because with my new CPA that I have now, when she saw all my tax returns, she said, listen, baby, you've never had your taxes filed correctly. And you know what I said? You absolutely correct. You absolutely correct, man. Because I always went with the people that had their arms folded up on the flyers, and I thought they was cool because they said they was gonna be able to get this and get that back. Like y'all know those people. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe some of y'all are those people that's on the flyer like this. Is how y'all do that. Oh, my live keep freezing. It could be my connection, but I got to keep going because it's recorded, and you'll just be able to watch the playback if need be, bro. But again, I didn't have the proper tax professional, so consult with different people. Like, just don't go with somebody just because they say, like, I'm telling y'all the stuff that's gonna keep you out of hot water. Just because somebody like pumping you up about how much money they can get you back and this and that, as a business owner, you want to show income. You want to show, money coming in. You want to show some type of revenue. You don't always want to be zeroed out every single year. Like, it's okay to at least pay to play. I didn't know that in the beginning. I know it now. I'm paying to play now, but I'm doing it backwards. I'd already played, and now I'm paying with what I received while I was playing. Does that make sense? Because had I understood what I understood now or understand now, it'd be a whole different ball game. It'd be a whole different ball game. So that's why I want y'all to succeed now. So you set the company up through LegalZoom. You went to your Secretary of State, whatever the case may be. You can use a address from iPostal. I think it's ipostal1.com. I can drop a link for that in the Telegram. I'll even drop it here on YouTube as well in the description. But you can set up a address in any state with ipostal1.com. But the cool thing about them is, as you're searching for the address, you'll be able to go in and search and see if that building is actually here in, say, downtown Houston. If I'm going to be using this address, is this building actually in downtown Houston? Do I have access to go and do my meetings in there? Those are the things you want to look for. See, I made the mistake when I set up one of my companies is I set it up and the building wasn't actually like this big building. It was the company, I guess how they had it set up, and their system was like a postal annex versus like commercial leasing buildings. I think they had it like a postal annex. So every time I was doing stuff, it would get flagged. Now, don't get me wrong, you can actually get away with that, but I was still getting flagged when I was trying to do stuff, right? So setting up the company is very, very important. Setting up the visibility of the company, making sure that your company is listed in 411 next. Even getting the company phone number, like you have to go that far to make sure that when you set up your company, that it has an address, it has a phone number, it has a email address, like a professional email address to it as well. My bad, y'all. I got this other camera that's over here, and it just kind of it went out, but whatever. But you set up the make sure you have like if your company is certificate deposit LLC, then you want to do info at certificate deposit.com, whatever the company may be. Phone number. School will have a 1-800 number and a local number. I had both. I had a 1-800 number and a local number. I had it on an app called Ring Central. Now there's other apps that's available. I'm old school. Ring Central been around for a long time. So I just use the app and it's right there on my phone. When somebody calls the business, it'll go directly to that phone and I'm still able to answer it while I'm moving around. Or if you want to get technical, depending on the level of business owner you are right now, you can hire a third-party company to actually screen those incoming calls. So basically, when they start calling, You'll have a receptionist that'll answer it. They'll ask all of the questions. They'll check your availability with you by sending you a message or maybe even calling you. You want to take the call, yes, they'll patch you in. You don't want to take the call, they'll take a message for you. And they'll pretty much be that middleman. That's really when you want to start separating yourself from, everything that you were doing. When you start having somebody else take the calls now for you, because now you're delegating your task. A lot of phone calls can slow you up on the entire process. It can. And I'm gonna take some questions once I get finished here, but I want to make sure I get through and set y'all up to at least setting up trade accounts. But you want to delegate those phone calls. Why? Because I don't want to be on the phone for those 30, 45 minutes. I've done that stuff before. Like I've cut down my phone time like drastically because if the call isn't important, then I'm not gonna stay on the call. I might not even take the call. If it's not like life or death, if you just gotta ask me a question and you in the Telegram group, man, I prefer you to ask the question in there because then I answer everybody at one time versus stopping, taking a 30, 45-minute call, 1 hour call. You got the question, and this other person had a question, and then somebody else had a question. So I'm getting back my time, the time that I spent on social media. I'm getting that time back because I took a break from it, reprogrammed, and actually, let me not say reprogram. I fasted. I did the correct thing. I fasted, I prayed, and I fasted away from social media. I fasted away from people, fasted away from things, from places. I fasted. So now I have a different approach when utilizing these tools to allow me to become successful. You know, that's where we got to start getting intentional on, whenever it comes to, all right, if I'm a business owner, then let my entire image on social media, on my business page, display that. Let my content display that. Don't let my content display uh, negativity so much if I'm a business owner. Don't let my content display like lack or worry or doubt. That's not who we are. That's not who we were designed to be. That's not what we're equipped to do. Because if you worry about lack, you worry about jealousy, you worry about cynicism, then that's the same thing you're doubting God on. Like you're gonna doubt Him. It just doesn't make sense. So, just for instance, Nalito, he's on here. I watched his YouTube page, and when he's talking to me, it's a different person than what I see on his YouTube page. I'm on this dude YouTube page. He got 10,000 like likes and views, all these comments and stuff. And he's super, super, super confident in that. He's confident elsewhere too. He's confident in other things, but when he's in that light, when he's working those guns, he's like, it's like he's fulfilling a purpose. Like it's his duty to teach people how to actually use a firearm, maybe how to clean it, maybe how to put it together. Like he feels those things are very important. And it's 10,000 other people that feel the same way. So when you see stuff like that, you're like, okay, now he start adding some merch to it. How can I monetize that? You start adding some merch to it. Because I'm saying this because you're far along in your YouTube than me. I'm fresh. I probably got like 56 subscribers right now. You look up at the end of the year, I'll probably have maybe about 50,000 subscribers. I promise you that. But you can start adding merch to your YouTube. You're a business owner. You're showing something that's a hobby that's now become not a it's a hobby for you, but it's like your work for others, your craft, your skill for others. And it has to make you money, whether it's selling ammunition, whether it's partnering with certain companies to display and put together, disassemble their guns, to clean their guns, uh, partnering with different bullet companies to advertise their stuff to put down in your YouTube description. It's just little things that I'm learning. And if my connection is freezing, I apologize. But it's just little things that I'm learning as a failed business owner. Like I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. I'm not gonna be on here and be like, oh, I'm just successful. I make 8 figures a week and 7 figures. Not yet. Not yet. Not a week, not a month, not yet. But I've had failures and I've had experiences that will allow me to make that transition now. That's the only way. And that's through failing as a business owner. Like you gotta bump your head. You're gonna have to bump your head in whatever industry it is you choose. Yeah, you actually working on money. You gonna get there. Trust me. You will get there. You will get there before I get there. Because what I saw was like, I was in it like this. I was like, oh, and I always wanted to know, like, how can I take the gun apart? How can I clean it like myself? I've even called places like, yo, y'all clean guns? Okay, bet I'm gonna come drop off this to you. I'm gonna come drop off this to you. And I would take them places, and here it is. You like in detail with it. So those are just things to be mindful of when you're building a business of other areas. Well, let me not say other areas. Those skills that you have that you learned in another like work environment, whatever, those skills will actually get you paid. The thing is that we have to be aware of the skills that we possess there and also how they can apply to what it is we're doing now. I mean, listen, I'm not on here as a guru, y'all. I'm just on here communicating this with y'all. Because when my great grandchildren get ready to watch this, they able to see the stone cold truth from me about what I experienced as a business owner that they don't have to experience. And that was actually having, core products, delegating tasks, you know what I'm saying? Thinking of, or even knowing my numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing my numbers, how many clients am I getting in every single week? And there was a period when I was running my business, my service-based business, to where we were getting about 20 clients a week and we were charging about $2,000 for the service. And let me tell you, we weren't aware of the number count until the number count went down. When we stopped seeing that money coming in, and it wasn't, and let me tell you, we didn't set it up to be a consistent cash flow. We didn't set it up to be a cash cow to where when we go to sleep, it's still making us money. We didn't do that. I didn't do that. I made those mistakes by not doing that. I made the mistake of working for the money, meaning providing a service for the money, but not delegating the money accordingly to provide a consistent income. Now, we lost a lot of money in crypto, a lot of money in crypto, a lot of money was lost in crypto, a lot of money was lost in crypto, and we got a lot of proof to show money was lost in crypto. But that's, again, we weren't doing our homework. We were going off of, or I was going off of, what everybody else was saying. Don't do that as a business owner. Don't go off of what everybody else said. Even myself, like go and do the research. But when I'm telling you how to structure your business is because I have the software. I have the software that structures the business for you accordingly. I have the software that funds you. Once you structure your business accordingly, you go and add 40 to 50 trade lines to your business credit report. See, I didn't have it then. I have it now. It's a different ball game now. You know, some of you on this call have it. You invested the money to have access to that. And now you see what it's like actually having somebody hold your hand to build and structure and fund your business consistently over and over and over again, being able to correct you and say, hey, Chico, hey, bro, yeah, you got to go and do this here, man. We one step closer to moving to the next tier of your credit, you know, and getting you these revolving accounts. You know, we're close to getting you these fuel cards for your business. You know, having somebody like that versus I didn't have anybody but the internet, the people that was in it that failed and that succeeded, but they succeeded and left out one part, the business credit side of it, leveraging that. I'm just telling y'all, man, when I say I left so much money on the table early on, it was crazy. But when I also received money, credit cards, loans, and stuff like that, I felt at that time I was making the best decisions. And now that I think back, now that I've been through that, there was the worst decisions I ever made. I'm gonna just tell you, I'm gonna just be real, man. There was some bad decisions, but those are decisions that I'm able to experience and just be like, all right, you know what? I wouldn't even tell somebody to do their business like that. I wouldn't even lead them down that path because I saw what happened to me and several others. So let me lead them on a better path that I should have taken at that time. And if that path works for them, then that path works for them. Kudos, great. I appreciate you listening to me. But if that path doesn't work for them, don't quit. Continue to find the path that works for you. That way you can tell somebody, hey, I tried this path. I tried this path, this worked. So here go these two paths, you can figure it out. And that person takes it. I tried these two, but this is what worked for me. It's the same as sales. You know, when you get so many no's, you should be happy because now you just found out 50,000 ways that don't work. Like, think about it. Like, I would never keep the same pitch if that shit wasn't working. If that shit wasn't working when I got that up, that's what we call them when I approached that customer. If it wasn't working for the last 5 customers, I'm not going to use it on this 6th customer. I'm gonna come up with something completely new, and I'm gonna see if this is the one that's gonna work because that might be the one that worked, and that's gonna be the one that you stick to until it stops working. And the only times certain stuff stop working is because it's time for you to grow. It's time for you to, all right, I'm not selling that way no more. I'm selling this way. I'm selling not from a commission breath, but I'm selling from a place of abundance. Like I already got it. Like I already have, whether you get it from me or not, I mean, it's not going to make a difference. And I just had that approach when it comes to selling to any, like, yo, you want it? Cool. You don't want it? That's even better because then I don't even have to provide the service or write up the paperwork, or I don't have to do the coaching session with you. If you don't want it, that's cool. So everybody happy. So now let's kind of get back into the structuring of the business. You've structured your business, you got your LLC, you got your iPostal, your address. And if you have a current LLC, don't feel the need to go and create a new one. Just restructure that one. It may take you some time with the paperwork and the Secretary of State, but just restructure it. It's okay. Companies do it every single day. Restructure because you start spending money, and next thing you know, you got like 17 LLCs and you haven't made any money in none of them, but you man, yeah, I had to set it up because the other one, it's not even active no more. If it's not active, contact the comptroller of your state, contact the comptroller of your state and ask them, what do you need to do to reactivate this company? Make sure you have a pen and a pad ready because they're going to tell you, you do this, and after you do that, you go to the Secretary of State, you file this paperwork, or you file this, or you go to your county clerk, you file this, and you file that. Okay? Don't go open up like 50 million LLCs. Just restructure. Like right now is a perfect time to restructure at the beginning of the month. Get a registered agent. Get somebody that can be the middle man or woman for your company, meaning anything that's happening, any kind of changes that's coming down the pipeline, just like the Transparency Act, that registered agent, they have that headache to worry about. Not me. That's why I hired you. That's why I hired you. That's why I hired you. So you can handle that headache, not me. That's why you get a registered agent. Don't put your cousin on as a registered agent. Don't put your wife as a registered agent. Don't put your boyfriend. Don't put your business partner. Don't put your significant other. None of those people that you have some type of relationship with on as a registered agent. They control your business. They control a lot of the stuff, especially the communication piece of you. You want to make sure that you have a registered agent, a professional registered agent that you can communicate with. Now, if I assisted you with getting a corporation, then you have a registered agent with that corporation. You have somebody that's doing all of the paperwork on the back end, that's receiving paperwork, that may communicate that with you. That's what you have. But if you don't have a registered agent, just Google registered agent, or I'll find a link to a few registered agents and I'll drop it in the chat. That way you guys have that as well too. So if existing business owners, don't go create nothing. Don't go create nothing new. Just restructure. Just restructure. All right. Uh, Another thing, let's go to the monitoring your business credit report. Yes, monitoring your business credit report. That's where a lot of business owners fail because they're doing business out of their pocket versus doing business with the very thing that the government gave them, which was the EIN number. We don't monitor our business credit. I didn't even know you can monitor. I just heard people talking about it, never knew where to go to monitor it up until I got submerged in finding out how can I get some money to run my business. And I got submerged in the business credit information and submerged myself into it some more, submerged myself into it some more until one day I started running a play that was actually set up within the information that I had. I just had to piece it together. Now, the way that I give it to you guys, the way that I have it set up with my system is it's already there. You don't even have to guess. Like you don't have to worry about. I wonder if I'm set, if I'm structured right. I wonder if I have business credit now. No, because I'm going to show you how to monitor your business credit report, show you how to also clean your business credit report because a lot of people don't know how to do that. A lot of people don't know how to do that. A lot of people don't know how to clean a business credit report. It takes some time, but it can be done just like your personal credit. So you want to make sure you're monitoring Experian business credit, and also you want to make sure that you're monitoring your Dun and Bradstreet, and you want to make sure you're monitoring your Equifax business credit report. And also, I know the SFBE has business credit monitoring, and Credit Safe does as well too. Those are some sites that you can use when it comes to business credit. Now, I hear a lot of people be like, oh, well, man, you know what, bro? I'm gonna just add, 5 vendor accounts and I'm gonna just go give me some business credit cards and this and that. Yo, it's more than five. Five is a starter pack. That's what we call it. It's a starter pack. Like it literally just gets you a little tick on your Experian business credit report. It's not the thing that's gonna just blow your business credit up. It's not. The thing that's gonna blow it up is having 40 to 50 accounts just like you would on your personal credit, but 40 to 50, you know, properly managed accounts. You know what I'm saying? If you just joined us, make sure your lines are muted because we are on YouTube as well too. And we don't want YouTube to hear everything in the background. But it's not just the five business. It's not just five. That's where everybody fail at. That's the exact thing that's where I stopped at. When me and my brother had our company, that's where I stopped at. Just the five. Because I was listening to what everybody else was saying. Oh, you only need 5 trade accounts on there and you're gonna be good, you're gonna be getting this, and they're gonna give you this. And whenever I was met with adversity, guess what I did? I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna get this up. I'm not gonna mess with this business credit stuff. This stuff is a headache. I'm never gonna get past 5. I can't even think how can I even get more business credit lines and nobody's giving me anything? And you know what? When we gave that company up, it was something in me that was like, yo, you got to do some research. You got to do some homework. And just like I did just this past 30 days, I took a break from everything that I was doing, everybody that I was talking to, everything that I was watching. And I submerged myself into understanding credit deeper and understanding business credit and structure properly. And after that, it was over because now round two of the business being structured properly, of me having my personal credit in order, of me having some trade accounts on my business credit report, I'm able to go in there swinging. Like I'm not going in the back into the banks like, oh, can I please? No, I'm going in there like, yo, I know for sure that y'all gonna give me some money. How do I know? Because I have outstanding credit. My business is structured properly. I have 14 to 15 vendor accounts, trade accounts, business lines already established before I even came to ask y'all for some money. We're never prepared like that. We prepare like this. Adversity hit. Hey, I need to try to get a loan. I need to try to get some business credit cards. So have you been working on your credit? Have you been working on your business credit? No, I ain't been working on either one. No, I hadn't been working on that either. Well, you can't get a loan if you can't show that you're a credible person. So until you show that you're a credible person, nobody's going to give you anything. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. It's the preparation. It's being prepared for when that time comes because it's going to come. It's always going to come. Just like squirrels prepare for the winter, they know it's coming. You should be the same way. Just like an ant prepares for the winter, they know it's coming. You know that day of adversity is going to come. When it comes, are you going to be prepared mentally, physically, financially, or even if it's not fully financially, you have a good credit score, strong credit history, and you have this corporation with 14 to 15, maybe even 20 vendor accounts that you've been sacrificing and building out over the last 6 months. And on that 7th month, adversity came knocking and you say, you know what? I got something in my tool belt for this here. My bank account might say zero. My check might only say $300 this week, but I got this 780 credit score with credit history. I have this corporation, this LLC, this partnership. I got 14 to 15 vendor accounts, 20 vendor accounts on there that's paid perfect. I have a business bank account already. I have leverage. When your bank account says zero and you have all those things in place, you will always have leverage. Not leverage to manipulate, not leverage to uh uh how can I say this? Not you gotta pay the money back. When they give you the money, pay the shit back. Okay? I'm just speaking from experience. They gonna give you a lot more money, but you gotta already be in the works of doing something for that money to work for you. Guess what? When I cracked this code, when I cracked that code, when I got that big $90,000 in funding, that first round, I got $90,000, and that was split up between credit cards and loans. First 90,000. Guess what I did not have? That I'm trying to prepare y'all, that Steve is trying to prepare y'all. I did not have a core product. I didn't have a product to try to push people to. I had a service, but I still didn't push more people with that money to my service so I could make more money with that service to pay back that loan and also delegate my tasks and continuously grow my business. That's what I'm preparing this group for. That's what I'm preparing this group for right now. What I wasn't prepared for. It doesn't matter where you are right now, you can get there. You will get there. Don't look at where you should be to measure anything that you're doing. Look at where you started and where you are now. I look at where I come from and where I am now to measure how good I'm doing, to track. I'm not measuring it on where I think I should be. I'm measuring it on where I come from and where I currently sit at right now in this seat. And that right there to me is success. That's my definition of successful because of where I come from, the adversity that I've faced, and coming from that area, the stuff that I've had to like throw out of my mind to get here, to the garbage I had to take out, the communication that I had to change to get here, to be here with everybody right now. Like the shit might not make sense, but it's gonna make sense once you get there. I promise you. So becoming a business owner is not just about being a boss. It's not. Just a quick recap. It's not about becoming a boss. It's about creating something, a product or service that you can help other people excel their life or move the needle in their life. But it's also an opportunity for you to bless other families by hiring employees, by having a staff, by having a team. You know, like that's what I'm realizing now. Because I was relying on people who were trying to create their own team to be on my team. And it doesn't work like that. I have to create my team by hiring people for my team, not saying, hey, bro, you got a great idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, let's try to do something together. And he may not be on that. Now, don't get me wrong, partnering with people is great, especially if I have a product and you got a following, like we can make a lot of money together. If you got some people right now, if you got a lot of people, listen, I'm paying out $250 commission on one of our products, and on the other product, I'm paying out a $750 affiliate commission on that product. But they high end products, they high ticket products, but they're worth every single dollar, what people will be paying for it. So if you got a lot of people, then yeah, we need to partner. Yeah, or if you have a product or service and I may have a lot of people, then why don't we partner? Right? Again, start delegating the things that you know you can't listen. I don't have a lot of marketing people, so I'm gonna I don't have a lot of skill in marketing, so I'm gonna partner with Steve. Why am I gonna partner with Steve? Because I can pay Steve affiliate commissioning to use his marketing skills to bring traffic and clients to my business. So the partnership between me and Steve, it makes sense because he has something that he's great at. I have a great product. He know how to get people to see this product. So therefore, I'm gonna make sure that he gets paid from everybody that purchases this product. And he's gonna be he's all he's doing is clicking a button. So it's good to partner with people. The people that sit in this group, like we have some amazing people in here. Get to know people. Like message people separately, like, yo, what's up, bro? I'm Bo. This is what I do. Hey, I'm Will. This is what I do. If you ever need that, let me know. I'm not that type of person be like, nah, bro, these are my people. Don't talk to my people. Don't share nothing with my people. If you have something that's gonna move my people's needle, share that shit in my group. If you don't have nothing that's gonna move my people needle, sit back and listen to the group. Talk to the people in the group so you can have something to share within your own group, within your own household, if that makes sense. Uh, but I'm enough talking. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the floor to any kind of questions that you may have via Zoom. And if you got questions on YouTube, just type in the comments any type of questions you may have. But if you have any questions on the Zoom, you can unmute yourself and ask those questions. It don't matter what it is.
Hey, I got a question, Will.
Yep.
So I always see these things online where they talk about for business owners, when it comes to your taxes, you should cook the books to the point to where, let's say if you make $1 million in a year, right? You want to show the IRS that you don't have anything at the end of the year because you want to like put all of your money into something else, like let's say buying property or buying, real estate or something like that. Is that true?
So ask that question again because it was more like a statement and a kind of in a
Should
comment
you
versus.
should you, let's say you make $1 million in a year, right, from your business.
Uh-huh.
Should you cook the books to the point to where you show the IRS that you have zero by like putting your money into assets or putting your money into like buying property or real estate?
All right, so let me just disclaim, I am not a licensed CPA nor tax advisor nor licensed financial advisor. Okay, just disclaimer, because I know how people will see these videos and be like, oh, you're a financial. Yo, listen, I don't advise anybody to manipulate anything if they don't have to. Okay. Do I advise you to make wise investment decisions while making that type of money? Absolutely. To prevent maybe future tax breaks or receive tax benefits? Absolutely, make those investments. But I don't advise anyone in this group to manipulate anything. And only thing I advise you is to make wise investments so you can properly have those tax advantages that you're speaking of or whatever. But again, that comes from having a tax accountant, you know, a CPA as well too, or even becoming a licensed tax professional yourself, because then you have an understanding and how all of your stuff should go. But that's just my take on it, bro. That's a good answer for you.
No, that's a good answer.
No, that's a yeah.
I didn't know
Go
these books
okay.
that you should know that you have, you shouldn't have to have the pay.
Yeah, my internet connection is breaking up because you kind of went in and out.
Can you hear me
Uh,
now?
yeah, I can hear you.
But one more question. We'll move on from that. One more question.
Uh-huh.
Is it better to have an S corp or a LLC, in your
Well,
opinion?
so a LLC is just a limited liability company. A S corp is typically whenever you select like a tax classification.
Okay.
So you have an LLC, and then the tax classification can be S corp, C corp, whatever the case may be. And you can go and again, this is where companies like LegalZoom come in handy because and it's other companies. I don't have an affiliate link with LegalZoom, y'all. I'm not partnered with them. I'm just speaking on what I use to set up all my stuff and the very questions that you have. That's where they come in play because they have licensed tax accountants. They have attorneys that you can also consult with. And then the people who setting up the corporations, that's what they do every single day. And that takes the worry off of you, the consumer or the business owner is, has my stuff been properly set up? Did I do everything right? Did I skip something within my steps? Like within the software, you'll see that I have all of these steps laid out and of companies that you can reach out to structure your company for you. So, but yeah, that's where a tax professional will come in at. If you need one, I can just share one with you, but it's going to be somebody uh, from LegalZoom that I've worked with in the past, honestly. So
No, I got you. I just wanted to add because those were on my mind, and I would much rather ask you during a call or in the
yeah,
chat than call you and waste your time with that type of question. Probably other people have heard it too.
yeah. So I want y'all to look at it as calling it wasting time. I need when people when I call somebody, I ask the question with what, when, who, how. I just kind of get to it. And if somebody called me and I can take the call and you can ask the question and we can be done, yeah, I'll do it. But if I got to take the call and I got to hear like, oh, 10 hours and then the question comes in after, you know what I'm saying? So y'all not wasting my time. It's just, I want to make sure I'm utilizing it effectively and I'm not slowing down anybody's productive day as well. But any other questions that y'all may have as far as setting up the companies, any type of know-hows, you want to hear any other type of failures or anything that I experienced in a certain industry? Because when I say I've tapped into like every industry, I've been there. I've had a good little run in certain industries, and then I like all right, I'm out. And that's the mistake that I made. I hadn't stayed. The car industry was the longest industry, and I'm still kind of following along that path. But not selling cars, but just still kind of providing the information that they don't provide for you or to you when it comes to like buying and selling cars, how to do that stuff. I provide that information, how to buy a car properly, how to finance a car properly. And it's just from my experience in that space. And man, I failed in that space too, you know, but I learned a lot in that space. So I like to share some of my wisdom of like, all right, don't do this, bro. Don't do this. Oh, it's okay to do this. Yeah, go do this here. Yeah, it's okay to do this here. So um, but yeah, any other questions before we end tonight's call? Any other questions, concerns, comments? Man, listen. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the call, and I appreciate everybody jumping on tonight. If y'all do have anything, feel free to message me in the Telegram chat, If you follow me on YouTube, comment below any questions that you may have. If you just now started watching me on YouTube, I appreciate it. If you follow me, you like some of my posts, you watch my content that I share. If you don't like it, then oh well, I just don't care. So I'll holler at y'all on the other side, man. Peace. Let's